Hello, good afternoon, welcome. I'm Wormslayer2146. It's Wednesday, 24th of May, 2023, and we're back in Factorio again with our tiny trains factory. The idea is to build as big a factory as we can on a rail grid type system, city grid type thing, but using the smallest possible trains, just a single wagon on each of them, and to see whether that throughput can survive growing and see where we go. Few mods involved. The list is in the first video on YouTube. You can see the whole list there. May need to add some as we go. We'll see. But for now, it's the same list. And progress so far pretty good. Really, I'm happy. Certainly in the last session, we had a quick diversion to get some robotics online so I can have some robots in my backpack help with the construction of the grid. Having done that, we started building. So we have a couple of squares for the grid, somewhere for a depot for the trains to live. Some coal is being mined up. So plan for today, get a power plant built so that there is some power within the grid, and then continue building the squares, trying to connect up all of the raw resources. So by the end of the next two YouTube videos, the next this one session today, we had iron, copper, stone, and enough coal all connected. That would be a big win, I think, for me. And if we can get any of that smelted as well, that would be extra happiness. But we will just have to see how far we can get in the time. Let's get to it. Let's hop into the factory, and I'm pretty sure we're good. We had finished the mining and connecting that to train stations. The depot's in place. Nothing's configured. There are no trains yet. But the rest we can continue with. So this square MM51, we want to put in some coal-fired power plants, pretty much this setup, as many times as it will fit. And I think I said to have the roboports. Can't exactly see the point, but it might become relevant at some point. So if only just to fit the plan and be consistent, we'll do that. So maybe handcraft 4 roboports. What would that cost us? Go get some red circuits and some steel and a bit of iron. That's fine. Let's drive over to our starter base, the temporary one that's up here and ticking along, making stuff just so we can get up and running. Try not to destroy any poles on the way in. Not the best driver in game. Fine in real life. Somewhere along here we should have something that's making red circuits, I'm sure. Don't see any though. Where would they be? Let's get out the car and have a little run around. Oh, there's some up there. Making the inserters, that makes some sense. Scoop some of that up. Or a lot of that, sure. A bit of iron wouldn't hurt, I'm sure. And then a bunch more steel. And I can make 2, 3, 4. There we go. That'll let us fill that in. Then I guess we're just going to need a bunch of iron to make steam turbines, or what are they called? Steam engines. We're going to need to make boilers as well, so we need stone to do that. If we're following the same pattern, then each cell, I should have counted the numbers, is 20 boilers, 40 engines. Okay. What do we think we're going to fit? Not many from the looks of it, if we do put the ports in. Maybe should have checked that first. I don't think we can have the roboports and enough engines to be meaningful. We need to leave a little space to deliver in the coal initially. Go all the way to the corners. That's 1, 2, 3, and probably just enough space for that station. And then both sides, so we could fit 6 of these. And these are making 36 megawatts each. That's a reasonable amount then. Not a huge amount, but a reasonable amount to fit in one. But we can't fit the roboports, so I guess it wasn't even worth making them. We'll have to get them out of the way. At least I've got some spare for something in the future now. If we're going to make 6 sets, then we're going to need 120 boilers and 240 engines. So what do I need to make? 120 boilers, probably more stone. Where's that? It was on the belt somewhere, wasn't it? On the bus? Must be back of it. Yeah, back here. Okay. making rail. Keep scooping that up until I can make all 120, I guess. Let's run up the line. Get some copper as we go. Don't really want that. I can make more furnaces than boilers, so I need more iron. There we go. 106, we're close. There we go, 120 boilers lined up, 240 engines, that's just a ton of iron. Let's go back to the smelting and grab a bunch of iron plate from there. Yep, no doubt, there's a whole bunch just sat here. Uh, 119. There's 120 queued up. Let's do that again. That's a lot of iron. There's another 60. So that's 180. So I just need another 60. Grab the wrong thing there. That's 58, so I need 2 more. There we go. Might take a while to get through all that. That's a lot of pipe to make, but there we go. We're making it. We can go get ready for it. Junk in the inventory. Yeah, probably will. I mentioned it last time, but I will want to get a mod that lets me just destroy junk. We could just bring in an infinity chest that I put in a corner somewhere to keep my inventory tidy, but maybe we live with it for now. Let's get back in the car and head over to the grid. We'll have some boilers by the time we get there. We're also going to need, before we go, we're going to need other stuff. Like offshore pumps, pipe, and I'm specifically thinking water fill to make all of that. So that's up here. How much would we need? That doesn't look like the one we used before. Did we use deep before? Maybe we did. I just need to add water, which we could do, I guess. Put that there. Maybe we did make deep before. I don't have any pipe though, and I can't craft any with all this in the queue. Can do it messy if I just throw that there. Kind of. Somehow. There's the power to get that in. We've moved over to that kind of inserter, I guess. And then, yeah, I've got back chest, that'll do. Put it somewhere it can reach. And limit it like the other one was. Interesting. Might just limit that more now. If it's not the medium that we were using, it was the deep. Not sure it was. Can't remember. Might as well go with the deep. I guess it will look prettiest. Deepest blue or whatever. It'll take some time to make though. So for the time being, we'll take some medium depth and get up and running. I don't think we made offshore pumps, so we're making 6 blocks. We're going to need 6 offshore pumps. It's not too many. 6 of them, and then just a bunch of pipe, I guess. Let's take some more iron. We can turn that into whatever pipe we need. Let's see how far we get if we start building it. Always come back and grab more things. Here we are. This is the square. Let's cancel off these roboports as we're not going to be putting them in. Move that power pole, might as well do it now. And I guess I assumed that we'd deliver the coal in the north. Don't have to. The journey would be shorter delivering it in the south, because that's where the coal is, I guess. But I don't know, like working top to bottom suits me better, prefer it. So the station, I think I will go with the north. Should put that in. So you can see how much space it takes up. It's loading. That's an unloading. We're not doing liquid here. And won't ever. So we can remove all that. Use the downgrade to turn that all yellow for now. Which are we going to need multiple delivery points? I wonder, the amount of coal we can deliver through this is probably enough to begin with, to make the amount of power we need until we make Blue Belt, and then we can come and upgrade it and get more coal in. Don't really know how many lines of coal a fully operational 6 of these would use. I don't know if that's... I doubt that's a recipe we can plan on. What would it even be? It'd be like power... steam engine recipe? Is that what this is? Perhaps it's steam. That gives you the steam you need, right? So it's the steam that we are working with here, made from the boiler. Sure. But how much? I guess we go up until we've got... what was it? Well, 240, that's how many we've made. So increase that number. Nowhere near that big. Half that is close, so it's like a little under, slightly more than that. There we go, 216 megajoules of power, which sounds like quite a lot actually. Would be 240 steam engines, 120 boilers. They're fed by 3.6 yellow belts of coal if they're all full speed. So if we can get to blue before that matters, we'll need 2 lines of blue delivered here. And this is capable of doing 2 full lines of blue from a single station. Because you've got that and that. Which we might as well join them now for clarity. We do that. Not neatly. Like that. Something like that. And balance them and then 2 lines come in. Something similar to that. It's roughly in the middle, isn't it? Check that, that's 7 poles that side and 7 poles that side. So that's dead center, that's perfect. So if we're just grabbing, say, from those poles, half is going one way, half is going the other way. It's pretty handy actually, kind of working out nicely. That would go there. Do we want to move it one closer? Possibly. I think it's kind of irrelevant. That's going there, next one there, and the final one will be like right next to the rail, so we could put it in the corners. There, there, and there. It's a shame it isn't like square, but no big deal. There, it's a bit... I think I'll go right to the edge. So that'll go there. I got that right? It has put the ghost in. No, I've got that wrong. Not quite aligned right. It shouldn't try to make the poles. There. That's better. And then, yeah, there we don't want the little pole, we want the big pole. Down there it's already got one for some reason. Okay. We can revisit the whole which inserters should we be using here. It is a bit complicated. There's no point in using anything faster than a yellow, I don't think. I still think burner's the way to go. In terms of... So the power generated by the process is enough to make the yellow inserter better than the burner inserter in terms of efficiency, but that only matters if it's running all the time. If they are not feeding coal in non-stop, then the yellow inserters are drawing some electricity, so they're consuming, adding demand, whereas a burner inserter doesn't, only draws from its power source if it's moving. So if you have a big block like this where we know many of these boilers are not going to be operational a lot of the time, it kind of makes sense to have burner inserters feeding them. So then there's only power draw when it's needed, and those inserters will only consume coal when they're needed to. When our power consumption is significantly higher, if we have a block that is constantly feeding coal in, then it would make sense to use an inserter to do it. And if the yellow one is fast enough to keep it fed non-stop, then the yellow one's the one to use, because it's the least power draw. You'd only go to a blue one if it wasn't fast enough, which it would be. So, I mean, my conclusion is I think we want burner inserters, at least for now. We can work that out then, how many... 60, so we're going to need 120 burner inserters to do that. Which I think is that many. Not sure, we'll find out. That's that edge put in. It was pretty painless, and we're handcrafting very quickly. Flip that and put it on this side. And I can just add to my upgrade plan. I will turn yellows down into burners. Apply that here. We're going to need more splitters than we currently have to get the coal fed in. Let's build some of them. Probably enough undergrounds there. And we're going to need a bunch of just plain old bits of pipe to go on those little gaps in between there. Do need to work out where we're going to bring the water up from. They're currently feeding from the middle, so we could just put some pools in the middle. I'll be quite happy with that. That's where we left space, so it makes sense. I mean, can we check? Yeah. From that same recipe. So Helmut's got these these technical recipes in the background that the other planner, the factory planner, didn't have. So you can plan for things like this, which is really cool, very cool. 6 offshore pumps are needed. Yeah, that of course makes sense. Each of these blocks needs a pump. That's what they're based off. Cool. We can probably give them more than that, but if it's not needed, it's not needed. Just put a pool, maybe dead center, a pump either side. Maybe. Split the belts around it. Maybe we can tidy that up a bit. It's a bit messy there at the moment. Not sure how, but maybe we can tidy that up a bit. And for everything else, yeah, looks like it. A bit short on poles. Wonder if we've got any in the car, maybe. Maybe why we've not got so much on hand. They're built in. So is that everything? No. There's a bunch of purple dots down the bottom. Don't know what that's for. Oh, the bits of pipe. Sure. We're going to need more. Running low on iron, but hopefully we've got enough to finish the job. And then on this side we got the pipe and we got the inserters that are missing here. Let's get them filled in. Seems good. I need a little bit more pipe to get the water actually flowing, which could be awkward. We'll see. Was that not enough inserters? Did I? Oh, maybe I miscounted. Looks like we're short, like, 15. I just didn't queue up enough. We need more iron then. That's a shame. Where did I park the car? Let's let the robots come in. Oh, we also need some steel chests there. What, 8? Which we don't have enough steel for. So a bit more iron, a bit more steel is needed. We'll just take a quick loop to get some of that. Come back, unless there's any... No, that's all like rail stuff, yeah. In the boot of the car. Let's not try and drive through all that. If I need another 10 of them, and maybe some more of that. Bit of steel. Let's just make 10, have a few spare. And yeah, why not? That's stone, that's why not. Iron, there we go. Get some spare just in case. And we'll drive back over, get this finished. There's the chests done, so that station is good. Then robots finish off all that. Good. No little pink dots or anything, no. Okay. So if we wanted to line this up, we'd have a pool of water in the middle here. Can we go with that big, but maybe... We want that big to fit the pump on? I don't think so. We would have it here, which I don't like, in order to line up with them. Unless we do... What we usually have is a pump, and then we split it in half, which is fine. It's the right amount of water, I guess. Let's do that then. So that would be there. Pumps are here. Line that up. And we'll just move that back one, maybe. Go under there. Good as anything, I think. Except for the obvious. Need to actually connect that into. That seems fine. Not the prettiest thing in the world, maybe, but it seems fine to me. Just come down here and remove those, because they're going to move. Put the puddles of water into there in the top of the two, yeah. Oh, I was stood there. There we go. There and there. Then we should be able to copy that section. We lined it up right. Plop straight in. Good. There's water. I just need to bring the coal down into each of them. How do we want to do that? There's 3 on each side, and we've got 2 belts coming in. So I guess we want to divide each belt into 3, which is a bit awkward. I think we looked at that before, I just don't really know how you do it. That's not bad. I would like to make that a bit neater if we could, anyway. Don't think we can without putting it on a side. And I do want to bring them together to push them together in case one does unload faster than the other side for whatever reason. Could happen, I guess. Shouldn't, but could. Like, that would be neater if it was a straight line, but then they'd be separated, which I don't like. We could turn it so we go sideways and then bring it back. I might not hate that. Forward one more. Bring them all together. Get rid of the excess and then balance them and then bring those 2. In which case, go one more over. There's no point in bringing it back to the middle and then out again. It's just that this one needs to go across. One's going down. One away. There. I think that's better. It's a bit neater at that bit. Then we bring them together, and then that's fine. I'm happy with that. And then each of these. So if we do it this way, it's split 50% into the first chunk, and then 25% into the second and the third. Seems fine, really. Make sure. I mean, we might even put a priority on it. Actually, get a cell working at full speed. Make sure one cell is fully, before the others are. That makes some sense. Not sure how much, but some sense. So we'll do that. Have priority on pushing into the earlier ones, and then the last one last. Yep, seems good. Can I grab all of that, flip it, get it that side? Looks like it. Not bad. Would look nicer if I paved the floor in, but we're not really at the stage of having the concrete to do that, so that's a future job. Paving over the entire base. Do it at some point. For now, that seems good. So we can mine up coal. We can task trains to come and get it. They can get it to feed themselves, and they can get it to feed the power, which causes us to mine up coal, and so on and so on. So we could activate this now, and the radars would switch on, which is nice. Would be nice to have. It's a bit wasteful because they're just draining power to feed themselves, but I'm kind of happy doing that. We're going to need to connect up more coal regardless, whether we waste it or don't waste it. We're going to need more, so like, why not get it up and running? Because it would be cool to have it up and running, to see a few trains moving around every now and then. Constant beeping of LTN telling us what's going on, and getting some things programmed in wouldn't hurt us. See if things run okay, or if we need to change the plans as before we build too big. So I'm going to go grab a few things to get us off the ground. I do kind of just need a chest for dumping junk. I guess. Just need more space in the inventory at the moment. Need to take as much coal as we can to kickstart. This has got stuff in. Let's put little bits in here, maybe. Don't really want to. But that's not going to work. Let me just put everything in a couple of chests. We'll come back and grab what we actually need. So I need book. Can I put upgrade planner in the book? Perfect. We want coal. And bots, always. That's kind of it for now, I think. Might have missed some constant combinators, so let's have that. Seems okay for a minute. You also want, as many trains as we're going to set running, which we might as well fill the station in. I don't see any reason not to. It'll only use the trains it needs to use. It will take a while for it to then give them all enough fuel, which is a bit silly maybe, but the way that we split it will prioritise a start anyway. It'll be fine. So what was it, 28 in a station? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 14 doubled, so we want 28 locomotives and 28 wagons. Or do we want some fluid wagons? We should leave space so that every depot has some fluid wagons. So let's not make 28, let's make 20. And the 8 can be fluid ones. No, we made fluid wagons. Okay. I was going to say later, but we made them. 25, 26... 27, 28. How do we want to split it? I just don't know how much solid versus liquid we're going to have in this region. I kind of want a consistent number, I guess. I don't think it's going to be half and half. I think it's going to be less liquid than solid in general around the base. So maybe we do each half is 10 solid and 4 liquid. Or is it 7 and 7? Maybe it is. That doesn't seem right. It could be 8 and 6. 8 and 6 maybe. Let's try that. So we're going to have a 16 cargo wagons and 12 fluid, I think. That adds up to 28, so that's probably correct. And then a bunch of coal. As much as we can scoop up. I mean, we're capable of making solid fuel blocks. We probably should be doing that. It's a bit of a leap to get all of that. You know, all the petrochemical connected up to the network of grid squares. So I'd rather see some trains running. So we'll scoop up a bunch of coal. Be inefficient on purpose, which is unusual, I guess, but there you go. No idea how much would be needed to get this up and running. I mean, is that enough? Where we need to get quite a lot going. I don't know. Scoop up a bit more from here, and we'll see if we can get it going with this. And if not, we'll come back for more. We've got the wood as well in the car, which I'd like to use up, so we might as well use a bit of that as well. We need to get rid of it, so why not burn it up somewhere? Shouldn't have driven this close, should I? It's asking for trouble. Let's park out here. Locomotives put in. I don't think where I put them matters. They'll jumble themselves up over time, but at least to begin with, let's put wagons nearer the exit. So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, and 1, 2, 6 of them. Perfect. Do the same on the other side. So on this side being fluid, and this lot being cargo wagon. Exciting stuff. I'm excited. I like trains. We've done the signals here that say this is a depot. That should be all we need, I guess. We need to add some signals here to request the fuel in. So this is a requester. We set the number, it limits the minimum request, I think. So we want that to be a number. We'll change it, but we're requesting coal here at the moment. We put a negative number for the amount we want to hold here, which, I don't know. I mean, how much do we want to hold it? Like a stack in each chest, just to keep it moving. The time it takes them to go and get more, I don't want what's in the chest to disappear. I want something in the chest all the time. So that could be more than one stack, I guess, but I really don't want to overdo it. So let's say 2 stacks for now, and we'll see how that goes. Coal's in stacks of 50? Yes. So this station, if it had 400 coal at all times, I'd be happy, but only go and get it if the difference is more than 100. So we're saying hold 400 here at all times. If you've got 399 here, don't go and get more. Wait until you need 100. So when it gets down to 300, they go and get more. Which could mean one chest is empty. Isn't great. We're not balancing the output. It should do it itself. I'm not too worried about that. That seems okay to me. Make sure the journey's vaguely worth it. I don't know. We'll give it a go. I think that's how that works. We need to get some signalling put in here. So the car has got my wire in it. We need to go get some red wire. And yeah, we're going to get errors saying there's no available trains because we haven't configured them yet. That's fine. I don't want them to go yet. Configure them last. Let's get our red wires. We need to wire in the chests here. So when you're unloading, we need to wire in the chest so it knows what it's got. Put them together and up to the pole there. Sure. Bring that pole over and into the light. And I think that's all we need to do on the unloading. They come here, they unload everything. We always make sure there's enough space by not asking for too much. Keeping it as small as we can get away with. Make sure every journey's kind of worth it. They don't just go and get one. Although we're going to do the same. The other end, we're going to say you can't collect the goods unless there's sufficient. But I think this is needed for the full picture. We need to say only go if you want a sensible number. That might not be a sensible number. We'll see. I don't think we need to wire up the inserters at all. Just to make sure they're blacklist. They'll just unload everything and job done. On the loading end, we need to control the inserters. So this, I think, is good for here. I'm going to copy all of that and take it to the station in the north because it's pretty much the same thing. Or it is the same thing. Can't flip it though, damn. Because I grabbed the train stop as part of that. Does it fit there with... So I've rotated it and it seems to fit okay. There we go. That puts all the wire in for me. Handy. And we're saying the same thing. Get coal so you're holding 400 at all times, but only go if you need 100 of it. I think that's good on those stations, as far as I can tell. I want to do the same deal, more or less the same deal, in the next square though, so let me grab... it's not really going to... It's not the same. Let me just copy the settings of that combinator. And we'll paste them into there. When we can reach, there we go. And this is different. We need a pole that can reach to start with. They're in the car. And they have, oh, those have, yeah, we had to feed the poles in specially because of how things are lined. We don't usually have a pole that reaches a station. That's interesting. I mean, we do. It's just a bit of a leap to take a wire from this pole over here. Yeah, not a huge fan of that idea. So either, I think in line with the grid, which would be there, it's a bit close to the rail. Could have it at maximum length, which is there, or in line with that one, which is there. We can connect to them both, but that's very unaligned, so I'd rather, I think, just have it there. Yeah, that I prefer. But we need to bring the signals over, actually, thinking about it. So we're going to bring the signals down and up, or do we align with that one? I mean, we can't exactly do that. I guess we come down and up with it then. So those two to that post, those two to that one, those two to there from the inside, sure. Kind of messy, but whatever. Wire all those poles into a point and then out into the light. Here we have twice as many chests, so we at the very least want to double that. Doesn't seem like enough, but okay. And I think 100 as a minimum is fine. Like, the train's going to go if it wants 2 stacks of it. Doesn't seem like enough, but it's very close physically, so maybe it is. We'll see. I guess we have to keep half an eye on whether things are moving fast enough. Be interesting. So that's coal to be unloaded there. Just in case we need something from the car, I'm going to drive it around and closer to the next square, just so we don't have to run back when I discover we do want something. I want to risk driving it down the middle. Should be relatively safe if the trains aren't running. I'll go over here. Okay. So there's no inbound here, just these outbound ones. They're going to be different. And different to how we've done it before. So when the train arrives, what we're not doing this time is loading the entire wagon up. We're not just moving entire train loads all the time. When the train arrives, we want to load what it's asking for, which is complicated. The signal here will be that this is a provider. Do we need any of the other signals? I don't think we do we? Maximum number of trains, maybe? Although it could be interesting to not limit them and just see what happens. I'd be interested in that. So yeah, this is just a provider, but it's only a provider if it's holding. And if we're balancing everything perfectly, a stack in each chest, more than a stack in each chest, I guess. Let's say, although we said 2 stacks the other end, let's go with 2 stacks in each chest. As long as we load them evenly, that shouldn't cause any trouble. 12 chests, so 1200. It's a provider if it's got 1200 of a thing. In this case, it's coal, and that's all we need to say there. If this is holding 1200 of anything, then it is a provider of that thing. Seems like it'll work. Okay. Hello, Mr. Fly. We will need to wire in the chests in order to know that, which means we need that pole putting in into there. Then to control the inserters, the loading ones, the inside line, we also need to read a couple of signals and then control them. So might need a train here so I can test it. I can't exactly remember what the signals are. It outputs from this little part of the whole cluster the expectation from the train, what the train wants, and then it outputs from the vanilla pole to the train station what the train's got. And essentially when they match, when it's got at least as much as it asked for, we want to stop the inserters. This is complicated, but I think my head's half around it. We do want combinators, which I think are in the car. Lucky I moved it closer. No, there are none in here. We were making them, right? Let's take a trip back to the starting base. I thought we were making combinators. Don't know why I wouldn't have picked any up. Unless I had them, I threw them in those chests. We'll have a look. We need a decider at least to compare what they've got and what they want. And then we need an arithmetic to convert one of those signals to a different signal. Because you feed 2 signals of the same thing into anything, then it's just going to get confused, I think. There might be a way. Different wires. Probably do it with different wires. Let's have a look when we get there. No combinators there. Oops. Come back here, Mr. Car. Preferably without destroying anything in the progress. Although that does reveal... it'd be nice to have the repair packs on me. Where did we make them? Right in front of us. Right here. Grab a stack of each and then work out what we need to do. Might be able to just do it with a decider. We'll find out in a minute. That's a big miss. Oh, I don't have any of that kind of pole on me. We'll just have to use one of them. All the more reason to move to trains so I can't drive into poles if we're stuck on a track in the future. Okay, not this station yet. Let's say, for example, we just have a decider. We feed the 2 signals in, but they need to come in on different wires. But then we can't choose in the decider. Yeah, can't use like take the coal signal from the green wire and compare it to the coal signal on the red wire. Doesn't work like that here. Condition is there, so yeah, I think we need an arithmetic. That's going to go, let's say, there, and then take the output here, and we'll convert the coal signal from LTN. We just times it by 1, give it the signal the same value, but in I mean, A is fine, but a letter that reflects what it is. It's R, it's the request, let's say. So that gives us a number that is what is being requested. And we know it's coal because only coal is loaded here, so the type doesn't matter, I guess. Sure. Then we need a decider. It's going to take the signal of R, and it's going to take what's on the train station post directly in. I want to change some of those colours. Do we want to change any of those colours? Let's not for now. Then we're going to feed it over here. No, let's go back to the car and get the green wire. Should have seen that coming too. Oh well. There it is. Let's remove that wiring I've just done. Hello. There we go. Do that in green instead. That to there, and then that box to that one, and then in. An idea to run it to the wire first so we can see the signals. That could be worth doing, especially to begin with. Wasting wire here, but never mind. Take the output of the arithmetic, not the input. Don't want to mix them. The output of the station, feed them in off the pole, so we can then read the pole to see what signals we get on the green line. Yeah, and then it won't mix with whatever's in the red line, which is significant. That's good, actually. That's good then. And then the decider. So the decider is comparing the request to the coal that is in the train. If the coal that is in the train is greater than or equal to the request, we're finished. We will red light the inserters. Seems good. If the amount of coal in the train, which is the coal signal, is greater than or equal to what's being asked for, yep, that's right. We stop inserting. The inactivity trigger will go off and the train will leave. Which isn't ideal. You want that I think I've moved it down. The inactivity trigger we want to be quite short, so if it stops loading, then a couple seconds later off you go. Which it is set to, I think, 2 seconds. Output 1 red. So that is which wire that's on is now significant because the light here is outputting a colour as well all the time. So if that goes red, we get a red signal on the red wire network. So using a separate green wire network, which we're going to feed. It can feed onto there. The output won't interfere with the other signals, and then it can come back over. And in a similar vein, wire up all of these. It's a hell of a jumble of wires, but I believe it's doing the right thing. The inserters just need to be told if you've got a red light. Other way around. If you do not, so if there are 0 red light signals going into the inserter, then you are enabled. Therefore, if there is any red light signals, it is disabled. And they're on blacklist. So that, I believe, will work. They're greenlit now. If a train arrives, they'll load until the amount of coal in the train is greater than or equal to what LTN says that train wants. Then they'll stop. In theory. Let's grab that whole thing there, wires and all, and if we're lucky we can paste that in down here and avoid too much of a mess. Somehow. No. Because I can't flip it because it's got signals, and I can't rotate it because this is facing a different way for some reason. Am I crazy? They should be facing the same way. The belts aren't, I know, but the train line should be. That should be able to copy, yeah. Yeah. It is able to copy. I'm missing a bunch of wires if I do that. I want that much and rotate it once and it should go there. Okay, don't know why I didn't the first time. Must have done something silly. That's fine. There's nothing saying it can't go, so that should just go in. And then we, yep, put in the missing pole and the missing combinators. That is a lot of wire. I hope I haven't jumbled any signals there. Something's not right. No, that's fine. Yeah, the only one that can't is the one from that box to that box. Everything else can go to the pole. But there's a wire there I don't quite understand. Looks like a green line. So the input and output of this combinator are there, and the output of that one, there's another green line. It seems to be coming down to this constant combinator. But no, it's not lighting up when I do that. It's not. Oh, it's from that train station. That's what hard to see, but yeah, and that's correct. Yep, they're all wired up and they're configured. Perfect. Okay. Can we grab the whole thing again, or at least the wires and stuff? Rotate once and put it down here. Hopefully. It's all wired up. Looks it. They're configured. Seems fine. Okay. I believe that's good. As long as everything gets powered up. The deciding will be done. Is that a risk if we lose power to the combinators? Are they gonna? The train's gonna come and do silly things? Potentially, I guess. If we still are able to power the inserters a little bit. Because we need to emit the red light to get it to stop. So if the train came and the inserters were loading because they had a tiny trickle of power, but we didn't have enough power to emit the red signal, they'd load forever. We kind of want it to be the other way around. We want them to only load when there is a green signal and remove that green signal. It can be done, but it would require a bunch more combinators. All we'd have is, I guess, the constant combinator would output a green signal, and then when this is true, we'd get a decider or an arithmetic. Yeah, would output a green signal and use an arithmetic to invert it to be negative and subtract it from the constant combinator, which would create a 0 and there'd be no green light. I'm just going to hope that won't ever be an issue. We're going to be hopeful on that, and I think that's overcomplicating it for no good reason. Half a good reason, but not a good enough reason for me to worry about it right now. I think if we power this base up, we'll be good. Do want to now configure the trains. The moment LTN will tell them to go, but they won't. The inserters won't do anything, so they'll just run in loops. So let's not. Let's get the power flowing for a bit, then get some trains moving. We'll move them up. I'm going to put the rest into the chest up here and spread it around. So how's that doing? I mean, that kickstart things, we're making 20 megawatts, and that's all we need. Mostly goes into the mining drills. It should be making coal. Should make its way into the stations. If they get to whatever it was, 1200 coal in them, then they'll become available providers. Might not have kickstarted it enough to make that much coal. Just want to go to the car and get all that wood. Don't... probably done that back to front, actually. I want to put coal in the trains, because if they run out in the middle of nowhere, they'll be fine. They'll lose a square of fuel and replace it with coal in due time. It'll be fine. Just to get... Although... LTN will task a fuel-less train to go, so... We only want to switch on the ones I put fuel in, I guess. It's a bit of a mess. I mean, that's a lot of fuel still. It won't last a long time, but it'll last. You live in MN51 South Depot. What does that say? 2. Something is misnamed. But you're fine. There is an active train. MN51 South. There you go. Must have copy-pasted that and not changed the name. That's north. There's also 3 stations called Chad. Not sure. Oh, because I just copy-pasted them as well. This is MM50 North. MM50 East. It's interesting that train's moving. MM50 South. Would not have expected that. He's not taking anything, and he wouldn't, I guess. Instead as a disabled. Something is amiss. Green network is sending a red light. Why? Let's get over there and find out. Almost get run over in the process. It's telling you to go get coal, so there's enough coal there. Yeah, there's 3,000. That's more than the trigger point. Oh, and it's now loading. And then it stops because he has got the 420, but that's because they insert a bit more, and that's okay. The bit more is fine. An entire train wagon full is not. Look at that tiny little train. They are unloading. And that was going to switch on a bunch of trains. Well, power them up. They're not switched on, are they? That's fine. It's fine. They're going to keep getting a bunch of signals to collect different things. I do need to switch more on. It does take an interesting route back. Sorts of circles, but, you know, it's okay. It's pretty speedy, despite coal is, or wood even, that wood put in him is not a good fuel. Not, I don't get good acceleration speed out of it. But, evidently, enough for now. Let's get this guy switched on as well. You live in MN51 South Depot as well. I've just seen another one is not named right. It's one called Unloading. There it is. That's MM51 North. Been copy-pasting too much and not paying attention. That's okay. 2 trains are up and running, delivering little bits of coal all over the place. Tiny bits up here. Okay. Although, you know, it appears to be doing what it's supposed to. Come to get 400 fuel, it loaded with 400 fuel and then moved on. Great. That guy's got 800 coal in him. Something went wrong. I saw a note saying something went wrong with one of them, not sure why. Where's he going? Luckily coal's the only thing on the network, so he can unload that here, it's not a problem. Perhaps should have figured in. We talked about it in the last factory we did, like if they come back home with something they shouldn't have, then just having an inserter that gets rid of it before they move on. No train found, that's fine. That guy's coming in here, which should generate the power to keep everything moving. Now the coal is flowing. I mean, drills are doing their job, obviously. It looks like 8 full belts, even though it isn't. That could just be... Oh, some of the chests are full. Sure. Which we used little chests on purpose, so... Could be okay. That train's coming around and into the other one. So yeah, the multiple stations is a good thing, really. Even if we don't need them, maybe we should use multiples. Help spread things around. We had to wait. Rude. I mean, they're not accelerating fast, but they don't look bad. It might just be because they're so small that it looks faster than it is. Don't know. Not bad going though. We're like an hour into this session and we've got trains moving. Makes me happy. I mean, there's coal coming in here. We're keeping things going. Powering it all up. And then fuel for these is where we probably don't have enough yet. Like, we don't want to run them all till those chests are filling up all over the place, which they kind of are. It ain't far off. Okay, well, I'm vaguely happy switching it all on then. Okay, we need to be careful. Trains are in motion again. We need to be careful where we're running and when. Let's keep using up the wood we've got for now. You also live South Depot. You are alive. You live in the South Depot and are alive. There you go. You only have a little bit of wood, not really enough to set you going. Wait for the coal to reach you. We can enable the fluid trains. They're not going to be doing anything because there's no fluid to carry. But we might as well switch it all on. Get the whole depot live. Why not? The lights should go blue to say they're ready for us, for tasking. Seems good. How's this guy? He's got some fuel, not enough. We need these deliveries to work their way in. Be soon. While we're waiting. Get ourselves over this side too. You're in the North Depot. Get that right. Lots of jobs to grab coal are going. Numbers all look sensible at the moment. Appears to be doing what I want it to. Could be an accident, but I think it's because I got it configured right. There's a minimum on the requesting and then a minimum on the providing, and this should hold a good buffer everywhere. Trains only go if they want at least 100. It's pretty cool. And then they don't overload them at either end. Just a tiny little roundup because the inserters are in motion. Stuff like that. Which is all cool. You're good. All good to go. You've got a full box of fuel there, so you're good. It's just filled up as well. It's interesting they're all shooting out as I say they can go. Like, it's a lot of journeys. I guess we're unloading pretty quick because these belts are in motion. It's interesting. The numbers might be way too small. Possibly. We'll see. This guy's got some fuel, but maybe not enough. What are we doing down here? You're all fueled up. South Depot. As are you. And this guy. Yep, is filled in. So that's the South Depot all live. North Depot's got a couple more here to go. He's good. 3 more here. No train found. Yeah, lots of little jobs. It's interesting. I mean, the depot will back up pretty soon. Boxes will be full. Not that much fuel is going to be consumed and everything like that. But the power side, if it's, I mean, it's not consuming at full rate now, so it'll back up to soon enough. But yeah, not too sure if it's running at full pace whether these numbers are good enough. Waiting a bit close there. Cool though. They all just queue up. Haven't caused a traffic jam yet, but they could from the looks of it. This is not enough trains to fill in the buffers very quickly, which is interesting. Points to these being too small for the logistics, but we'll see. Might just be filling in buffers, you know, that's the thing. But when that production stuff is running, it's going to want stuff constantly delivered. I think the numbers are not really good enough. Yes, it is also asking for 100 all the time, when it should ask for more, but it doesn't, because it kind of triggers as it hits the point of needing the 100. It says give me 100, and then a couple seconds later it needs another 100 or more. It's just a throughput thing. It's interesting. I think those numbers are probably wrong, and they will need changing, but for now we'll live. This guy's... Let's just switch them all on. They've got coal out here now. All the lights where there is a train should be blue. Yep. Yep, and the green lights where they're empty. Seems good. Try not to get run over from all these tiny trains on our way past. Lots of waiting at the roundabout. That ain't great. I'll survive it, but yeah, the faster acceleration will make that less of an issue over time as we get either the upgraded trains or the better fuels as the main thing for the acceleration. That's pretty cool though. It's up and running. The radars are running too, so we are uncovering bits and pieces around the fringes down here now, which is good. Where the first patch of stone we discovered is going to get cut through, so not ideal. Still, we have an easy win with the copper right here. We might as well get that connected up. Let me move the car out of the way. We can put the next square into the grid. Let's start by marking all the trees for deconstruction. Seems good. Just mark those while we're here. A few more there that we can't quite see that we will need to remove. Eventually, actually. We're not going that far over this time. Maybe a couple of them. Change that to not the depot. The regular square. Place it in. For some reason. Oh, it wouldn't place simply because the depot's north of it. That makes sense. Let's grab all the ingredients out of the car. We can let the robots begin on this square. It's a shame so much of it is lost to the alignment, but you know, it is what it is. You have to lose that if you're going to align like this and not adjust around everything all the time. Which, you know, wouldn't be a grid then, wouldn't be quite as interesting for me. This could alleviate some of the traffic around the middle as well if we open an alternate route here. That's pretty cool. Which means we need to be careful as we build. If we connect an alternate route up, trains might start coming down here. Try and do just this edge, get them power poles in and this side, and then work our way in. It's cool. Take a while though, doesn't it? Just build out squares and squares. I mean, the iron, it's still the one over here we're aiming for, I think. Can't see any other being good. Like that one gets cut right off. One up there gets cut right off. The starter one that we're using isn't bad, but it's a starter one, so it doesn't have as much in it. Whereas this one over here is good. So generally we're heading eastbound. And up there. And hopefully the radar uncovers something we can actually connect to around here. Bit awkward. Let's name the stations as we go, I guess. That is MO50 West. Good. There are a few trees in the way down here. Chopping on them. Trains have been quiet for a while now, so I guess everything's filled in. Keep the bots in range of something to do while I look. We should, yeah, cancel them roboports. We're not going to want them in mining squares. Actually, ended up cancelling the roboports pretty much everywhere so far, but there we go. There's also a bunch of pole ghosts we've put into here, which we'll cancel because we're not going to use them. Is that good? No, there's a couple of little dots in the middle here. There we go, get rid of them too. Okay. Yeah, good. So everything must have filled in. And until our power consumption goes up, we're not going to need more there. And until the trains move more, we're not going to need more there. So it's all self-filled now. And the output buffers on the coal are full. So nothing's running. The power draw is just the radars. Brilliant. The base is successfully kick-started. Which is very cool. Don't have the radars on me to finish there. That's fine, we'll pick them up later. They missed a bit of rail in the corner. Let's get that sorted out. There we go. Oh, and a bit of coal is needed for the trains. Okay. Just shunted forward so there's only 420 there. That's wrong. MN51 North, it shouldn't need any more, but okay. I have to leave some space for when it does this. Oh no. They're named the same thing. Ah, no they're not. Okay. That's MM51 and that's MN51 and my eyes are not that good. Sure. Should have thought ahead for that. But cool, that was for power then. And it's now got 815 coal up here. When that drops to 700, it should go and get more. It shouldn't when it just drops under the 800. Also, I don't have enough, but I'm not allowed to go get more. Half interesting to kind of watch that, but I'm not sure how fast it's going to consume those 16 pieces of coal. Oh, it's down to 800 already. Okay. Now it's down to 795 and nothing has happened. That's a good thing. Very cool. It appears to be doing what I want it to do. Must have done something right. All that thinking I did ahead of time has paid off. What are we down here? So this is MN49 North. To connect this rail up, which creates a viable path for some trains, so now we need to make sure we're not still on top of rail as we carry on. There we go. Cool. So yeah, we'll move in and head back around and build in that inner rail. Get all the poles put into the middle, and then we'll need to go gather the materials to handcraft a bunch more drills. Maybe we can scoop up some of those from the starting patches that are now dry. And then make what if we'll need more than that. So yeah, see how that goes. What's this one? This is an MN50 South. Cool. Trees dug up on the way past. I want to move that pole, don't I? And that one over there. And that one up there. Ah, they've asked for more coal. So this should now be under... Yeah, it's 675, so it's under 700. So it's now permitted to go get more. And there's a tiny train with 120 coal in it, which will take it up to 780. Which is not enough. It's not enough to immediately trigger another request, but it doesn't take it over the 800 that it wanted. That's cool. Might need to find a way of rounding it up and stuff. Or the number just needs to be... It's interesting, it's not quite what I want then, is it? Reaches the point where it's allowed to go get 100, tries to get 100, but by the time it delivers that, 100 isn't enough. But that's okay. You just need to make sure that whatever buffer we want is the difference between what we're telling it to hold and what it's allowed to go and get. So if we said it's only allowed to go and get 400 at a time, then the buffer here is actually just 400, not the 800 that is the number we said. It's interesting. MN 50 East. There we go. What did I click there by accident? Doesn't matter. Is that the rail? That's the rail done. Cool. Missing radar, of course, we are aware. The poles filled in. I missed. Wants to be lined up properly. There we go. These trees dug out on the way past. Next row down. Did I... Oh, that station's been there since we built the square next to it, so that was already named. That's cool. So if we build the 4 outside... No, the 8 outside squares, the inside one's already done, I guess, other than the poles in the middle. Go getting more coal. So it is, I mean, those trains are being sent quite regularly. The amount of coal being consumed just to power the radars is significant. And it's only going to get bigger as we start mining up other things. Yeah, we will need to change those numbers. We'll need to make them bigger. Definitely. Get the trains carrying more. Makes sense, I guess, over time. And ultimately we have the mod that makes, as well as the upgraded locomotives, it has upgraded wagons, which are like bigger, can carry more in each train. A tiny but carrying more, which, I don't know, it feels a bit like, maybe it'd be interesting to see how far we can get just with the vanilla ones, without using the upgraded trains. Just out of interest. Oh, I've missed the poles right at the south end. Sort these guys out, and then that square is built in. We use ghosts to work out how many drills we need. Then we'll go make them. Guys inside, okay. So what's the longest bit we can do in the middle here, I guess? Pointing left. One on the pole is pointing right. Okay. It's not best here, but never mind. We can put that drill in. It's a bit close to the rail, but I do want to maximise what we're drilling out of this patch. And there, that one still worth having. Okay. Do the one opposite. That's not worth doing. All ones are doing like 3 million each, so they're going to last a long time. That's very close to the rail, but I'll take it. Copy that whole row. Can go there. To there. That's potentially blocking that station in the north, but that shouldn't really matter. It's going to be similar to the coal. At the moment it will use multiple stations, but when we have blue belts it will use less. Maybe a single station, most likely. this one in, but it's, yeah, none of the right hand side can go in. That's annoying, but okay, we want to maximize it, so I'm going to build this row in, and then halfway down, is that 14, so 2, 4, 6, 7, that's here. It's going to go out to the other side of the belt there. So the first 7 become the other side of this short belt. Okay. Let's check the edge ones for any that are not. I think 50,000 is the minimum we went with on the coal, and we'll do the same here. The patch needs to be long-lasting enough to be worth connecting. Don't want the drills just dying very quick. That's all good. And that top edge is going to be good. That one's fine. They are not, but they are okay. Fine. That is 156 drills. Sounds like an alright number. Don't really know. It's less than the coal, I think. Yeah, it's 196. It's not much less, though. It's not bad. Let's go get 156 drills then. And pick up all of our, like, belt and everything like that. Inserters and whatever. We can continue building. I needed something from here. Oh, the empty drills. Ones that are finished. How many have we got? There's a few on the coal here. So I'll take this belt as well if it's not in use. Why not? We can put it to use. Any here on the stone? They're all fine. No red lights there. Interesting. Some here on the copper though. Take them. Some on that far side as well. Go get them. And then we just haven't done the iron patch, but that is 23 drills. Okay. Every little helps. There's quite a few here on the iron as well. Add some more there. A lot on this edge, yeah. There's still some running though, so all good. Not sure how much more we're really going to do in this starting base. We just kind of need the resources to handcraft each of the elements until we are making them within the grid. Then I'll grab them from there instead. That's all of them. Looks like it. 51 drills. Not bad. I'll go use what we threw into those chests first, rather than grabbing a whole bunch more and then needing even more chests scattered around the place to dump stuff in. Inevitable, I guess. We will have them all over the place unless I do find a way of disposing of everything. It's vanilla, so I can put them in a chest and then shoot the chest to destroy it. Gets rid of things permanently. It's not bad. Good enough. Can't do it with liquids though, which could be an issue when we get to petrochem within the grid. Inventory is full. Okay, let's put rail back in here then. And rail related accessories. Once more. So 54 drills now. There were a couple down here, right? On this coal that are running short too. Might as well grab them. 56, so now I just need exactly 100 more. Cool. Guess gonna need a bunch of iron to do that with. It's enough to make 80. Okay, a bit more iron. 89, sure. Almost enough. There we go, 100 more drills. And then, do I have enough? Probably enough belt. Need some more steel chests. No, wooden chests for the station, isn't it? Never mind, I'll make them anyway. We'll use them. Seems fine. Might need some more medium electric pole. Probably need some more medium electric pole. Let's find that. Wherever we made that. That'll do us. We can head back and keep going. I am carrying water fill. That's not going to be needed for sure. Put that away. Anything else that's definitively not. I mean, glue inserters, I guess. Might want to use them some places, but we're not really using them. And then the stone brick I've picked up. Just throw that in this one. Let me use a bigger one. Put the rest of the stone brick that I've accidentally picked up. And sulfur. Those portable solar panels we're not currently using. Seems fine. Ah, radars. Let's go get some more radars. Did we make more? No, we didn't. I was crafting them. Let's make some more radars then. And then grab a bit more irons just so I got some spare. Now we're good. Let's head back over. Go safely out. And this is the square we're working in. Get all these built in, although yeah, the drills are still. They'll take a while. We can prepare some of the belt though. It'll run to there. There's that line. We won't have enough belt on us. It's quite a lot. We'll see. Worrying about nothing at the moment. Made the robots upset, haven't I? They want to recharge. Let's let them have some. This edge is a bit weird, isn't it? There's 5 extra drills on the right hand edge of that, and there's 6 drills here, so let's take them, put them onto that edge of that belt. There we go, new drills are being made, fill in the gaps. We want to know how many belts this really is. 156, which we did before, just deleted it. Let's add something here. Just copper like that I think works. We're using that kind of drill if that matters. Want to know about yellow belt at the moment. We just want to increase this number until it's 156 drills we want per second. I've got to remember defaults to per second. It's only a bit less than that. 158, 156 and a bit, 155. Okay, so it's like 93 and a fraction, and a third, a little less, but more than that. No, a little more than it. Okay. Wrong way. 93.6 copper per second, 156 drills. Okay. Although, as we do research, it becomes more, it becomes faster. As we do the mining productivity research. Kind of be more than that, but that is 6.24 belts. So, calculator. 156 over 6.24 belts. It's 25 drills per belt. It is the same. I remember that number now. Forgot it, but now I remember it. So that is exactly 25. That's pretty good going. That row's 27. And then 29. 30. 31 and 14. So in an ideal world, we'd take some of the ends of these and feed them to the right hand edge. It's just not going to happen. We just kind of have to deal with it until we get red belt, and then more drills can fit on a single belt. So we've got 5 and a tiny bit on the end, and some of these won't get all of the drills out, but it's, you know, we're not counting on having exactly that much anyway, at any point. So I think we just take 6 from this, maybe. Seems fine. And following the same logic as for coal, it's the same speed. We're going to need 2 stations to do that, 3 lines into each. So that's fine. Can bring them together and use these 2 bottom ones, let's say. So let's get them ready. Loading solid. There we go. In the other direction? Doesn't matter. Do we want to mirror it? Like have a separate blueprint that has the belt coming from the other side, or even so far we've wanted it coming from the other side more than we've wanted it this way round, so I guess we'll see as we go whether it ought to be the other way. Still, that goes there and that goes there, and then we move the belt afterwards. Which might as well do before they build it, really. Although changes something, doesn't it? I mean, cut that, flip it, put it there. Yeah, it does change something. Just see how we did it for the coal. We didn't change the station, I don't think. 2 halves are there and there. Did we? Yeah, just changed all of that. Need to cut all of that away, and then I should be able to grab that much. Put it there. Yep. That lot. Yeah, actually easier if we grab all that again to go on there. Bit of an assumption, but I think, oh, I'm probably wrong there. I'm going to bring these down together and balance them heading that way. So that is probably wrong. Oops. Also, I don't have enough splitters. That should be there. Where can I copy that from? Is this one from the regular direction, I think? Yep. It can go there. Okay. Should have stocked up on them when we were back in the base. Never mind. It's all good. Do need to rename the stations again, because the one in the blueprint is Chad. MN50 South. 50 West. That's all there. So how do we balance 6 lines? We do want to balance them properly. I mean, we can just take the 8-lane one and feed 2 lanes back round. Always kind of happy doing that, rather than googling up again to get a 6-to-6 balancer. You know, I mean, the 6-to-6 balancer that we grab off the internet would be more concise, more compact, waste less space. But we have the space free, so, you know, whatever, really. Swap that over now, we're using the white ones more. How is power? Yeah, there we go. We're making and consuming 2.6 megawatts out of the 216 we could be. Pretty cool. We know we're going to need poles there. Might want to update the blueprint for the station to include that pole. Don't know why I didn't to begin with. I'm sure there was a reason. But yeah, that's fine. Kind of. Okay. If we're going to do what I just mentioned, let's grab the 8-lane balancer from here. Put a copy over here. Doesn't really matter where, I guess. Back one. Sure. Let's go with there. Maybe. Yeah, let's go with there. And we're just going to pull 2 of them, although, yeah. Rather not pull 2 off the same edge, so let's take the top one and the bottom one, send them back on themselves. Which fits kind of nicely here, it's not bad. Then we feed these lines in to each of them. And then the splitters again. We'll need to go top up soon, I guess, when I run out of iron to make more. Yeah, but that's fine. And yeah, this was the right way around to line up with the output of this, so let's bring that down. Move them up. Ooh, is this... Looks like it's good. It's a close one for lining up over this edge. Yep, that's good. Okay. Copper ore going into stations. Oh, there's a little train. Nice to have them up and running. Base is alive a bit. Do need to sort this out. So this is a loading station. It's similar to the coal ones we did. We need to control the inserters. Can I just copy all this? Will it line up okay? The station will need its name changing again. That seems okay. Try and do it when they're not planning to come and pick anything up. Seems okay. Change the name again. What was this? MN 50 South, I guess? Yep. It's fine. I don't have combinators on me. Are they in the car? Should be. I wouldn't have left them anywhere else. Yep, there they are. And wire just in case. Just in case. Talked in the last session about adding the jetpack mod or something similar to that so I could get around faster, but now I feel like I want it so I can get over the rails without getting hit more than anything else. That's all fine. I just need to change where it says coal to say copper ore instead, and then it should function the same. If they're coming to get 100 copper ore, then it stops when they've got 100 in the train, and then inactivity triggers and off the train goes to deliver it to, well, for copper ore to smelting. And it's working for the coal currently. It should work perfectly fine for everything else. Can I do the same over here? Looks good. Wires are all in. And correct, just need to rename. This is west. Cool. Copper is available in the base. It's pretty fun. Got coal and power and it's working. Need to put that missing radar in down the southeast here. And hopefully it can uncover some more nearby coal. And nearby stone and iron wouldn't hurt. We're going a long way at the moment to get any. That tiny bit of iron there, how does it align? Pretty good. So it's not much iron, but it will be a nice one to take. So that might be nice to head that way next, in that it's closer than that patch, and when we build the radars down here, we'll uncover even more in this region. Potentially, as we've already uncovered all this driving around in our car. And we can head that way and grab that iron whenever as well, when we need more iron, because yeah, that won't be enough really for much at all. Too small. I think we do that. I'm not sure it's worth trying to get half of that stone. It's very little, although I guess that half that is accessible is about the size of that iron, so by the same logic, if we're getting that, we might as well get that. So let's head south there and then east, although we'll want to fill it in to get all the pathways, but you know, let's beeline the resources first and then fill in the gaps. I will want to... Oh, I was missing a pole there. Nice to see. Remove trees from the area and stamp the next one in. And move the car down with us and grab the rail out of the car and the other bits and pieces. That train's going to get 135 coal, so by the time it did the request, an extra 35 had depleted. Interesting. I mean, it's fine, there's a buffer in each chest. They're not equal, which is a problem. I didn't put anything in for unloading these chests evenly, because it would have taken up a lot more space to do that, to control that with combinators. I don't know, maybe the difference is how much sits on the belt. So the far side are currently holding less than the near side. And that might be because their belt is a bit longer to the point where they all intermingle. Could be related. I'm no expert, but it vaguely makes sense that they would be related. That one going to be called? That is MO49 West. We're going to run out first. Got plenty of poles on us. We picked them up recently. Probably signals, won't it? Run out of chain signals soon. Oh well, build what we can. Go top up, come back, build more. Back and forth. A few times. Need more radars. I know we made 23, that'll last a while. That's good. It's powered up because we've built all the poles in. That's nice. That'll have I've just revealed more. Start scanning out a bit further as well, see if there's any more resources in this direction. Which will be good. Maybe that tree was going to get in the way. There's a bunch we couldn't see when we started the plan. It's a bit annoying. The radar doesn't quite reach far enough to plan the deletion of all the trees. But I don't know, these ones... some in the middle there, yeah, that didn't get marked up. Okay. A shame. And so that's... What is that? It's MN48 north. There we go. Just a bit there. Robots are still doing fine. They are slow, I know they would love to speed them up a bit, but we don't really have the science in place to do that. And I don't want to put it into the starter base. I'll get it science up and running in this grid before we try and get those researches done. We'll be patient with our little robot friends. But yeah, they're getting powered well enough on what we've got in our backpack, which is nice. It was a bit of a stab in the dark of what we might need. We're done. Yep, looks good. Head up then. I think we want to build that square in. We'll want to do this eastern whole row to get extra routes north-south, I think. We have some there. Don't know. We have 2 pathways to go north-south. Might be okay for a while, quite a while. Group of trees here that need chopping. End up with a bunch of wood again, aren't I? I could feed it into the trains again. Or anywhere really that we're using coal, I guess. Go into the power generation just as well. Well, what's that then? That's M49 East. We're all done, so that's... I missed a bit down at this junction. That'll do the whole outside rung, yep. Oh, signals? No, we got some. Not run out yet. Is that good? Yeah, looks fine. Okay. Head around the inside. Do we want roboports in here? Don't even know what this square's going to be doing, so I think we leave them in this time. For now. I mean, this will probably be copper smelting, because it's right next to the copper. Makes most sense to just do it there. And then stone smelting, stone mining, iron smelting, iron mining. Makes sense. This one, MN49 West. We do for putting a rail as well, actually, not bad. We won't get many squares done between each resupply run, but a few. Not sure how much rail is in one. 1.6 thousand rail per square, but where they overlap, obviously the rail isn't needed if it's already been built. So a little under that much. Well, I guess the overlap's an entire age, so it would be quite a lot less if it's overlapping. Interesting. That, forgotten already, MN49 South. Finish that roundabout off. Any pink dots that we've left behind? Yep, there's a signal over here. Get them to do that. Any other pink dots on the edges? No, looks good. Keep going around this corner then. This MN 49 East station in that square. Night falls and everything goes very grey. Okay, so that's, yeah, all the rail, all the edges. We just want to clear out any trees in the middle and fill in all the poles and the roboports, I guess. To see at night. I haven't missed anything though, that's fine. No tree there to remove. I think the rest have all gone. Cleared out well enough. Good. Just a row to run across, I guess. Can't tell what I'm reaching because we're stood by a roboport. It is cool, nice to have, I guess. Very low extra power while they charge up. And then sit there unused for a very long time. I mean, if this is going to be copper smelting, we're not going to use robots to do that, at least for a very, very long time. If ever, because I generally just leave things running on belt. I guess if we module up the smelters, and sometimes it makes sense to have bots supply it because we can supply quicker, potentially quicker. There's that square done. That's pretty cool. Let's mark removal of trees in the south. Plug in the next big old square. Keep going. But we're not going to have enough roboports to actually build them in all the way, are we? We can make some more later. We'll leave the ghosts there. The warnings will annoy me, but we'll live with it. So build them in at a later point. Station then, so that was MM49, this is MM48 east. We're a little worried we're not left enough number space, but I mean, you know, 48 is probably enough squares to get everything. Oh, some more iron has been uncovered in a really bad spot. That's a shame. Oh well. It's infinite. We'll find some that align okay eventually. Hopefully our little trains are fast enough to get to it and back if it's miles and miles away. Trees down the bottom here didn't get marked. In the middle there. That radar's powered up now as well, that's nice. Some in the middle will be irrelevant already, I guess. Just uncovered everything around them. Could pull them out if they're not of any benefit, but it's always a bit fiddly trying to do that. Just kind of leave them running. Draining power for no good reason, but you know, whatever. That is the next square down, so that was MN48. This is MN47 north. There we go. These trees out of the way as well. What? Coming from miles away. Come on, bank. These trees too. Well, I mean, we're coming this way next anyway, so we know these trees need to be removed. Might as well take them all. Set some of the robots, they're a bit sleepy. Sorry, Mr. Robot friends. What impatient I am about getting things up and running. We're out of rail, okay. It's kind of an important piece of the puzzle. I'll just build in a few of the bits more as we head north, get back to the car. We'll drive back for a resupply on, well, everything really. Clear out these trees while we're coming past them though. We might as well. We can place a station. I guess if we've got ghost rail, it probably can. I mean, it's doing the signals. Yeah, there we go. What is that one then? MO48 West. There we go. It's joined up. Yep, good. Everything but the rail is built there. Let's get in the car, head back to base. Get a bunch of rail, top up on signals, especially chains. Probably some more medium electric poles. Is there anything left in the car? Nothing. Okay. Top up on everything then. Problem with building southbound is the base is north of us, so each resupply run's going to get longer and longer drive. Oh well. Getting some better fuel to speed our car up as well might be nice. Or just building the rail grid up to get closer to here and taking a train home, potentially. Having our own personal little train, maybe. Carry stuff around in it. Might be worthwhile. Anyhow, while we're here, no, we don't need it right now, but I'm going to stock up on belt pieces, get a bit more underground, and a bunch more splitters. Inserters, we've got plenty. Pumps, not worried about yet. Water fill, we're all good. Storage tanks, yeah, not too worried about. All the combinators, all the trains. Definitely some more power poles. That'll do. Bunch more chain signal and a few regular signal. And then some more train stations. Yeah, sure. Do we want any constant combinator? Kind of good. Rail, as much as we can carry. And that'll do. Yep, because that's all science stuff. Cool, there's a good resupply run. Filled up. Find the car again, head back down, keep building. Try not to break any poles on the way back this time. There we go. We're safe. We are just over 2 hours into the session though, so having resupplied, how about time for a short little break? Let's park the car up down here where we're building. And yes, I'll just take the usual 5-minute break now to stretch the legs, give the brain a short rest and what have you. YouTube viewers, we will catch you in the next video. We will cut here. Don't forget, like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, you want to see more of it. Click all those usual buttons, let me know you're having a good time, or click the buttons that let me know you're having a bad time if you're having a bad time. Why not? Twitch guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes and we'll carry on building out our rail grid, trying to get this stone and iron connected up today so we have all the raw resources within the grid, and if we get them connected up, start smelting some of them down as well. That's the plan. I'll see you shortly.